We are the Group 3!
What is up, 7 Up? Good day from the institution of the City of the Gentle People and the home of the achievers and excellent learners, Negros Oriental State University. Brace yourselves, students of the ED101 Section A, as the 8 stunning ladies from the 3rd group are facing you with knowledge from today's lesson, Elliott-Turiel's theory and Lawrence Kohlberg's theory.
Social domain theory.
Elliott-Turiel,
Let's go!
But hold on to your horses, everyone, because let us first partake in a motivating activity to prepare our minds. So as you can see from our presentation, there are 4 jumbled words. Now, what do you think are the answers for this one? Now, I need 4 fearless volunteers to guess them with all your might. Are you ready to make a guess? Then do your guess and God will do the rest. Good luck! Thank you for participating, everyone. Now let us check your answers. So if your guess is correct, then you deserve to be noticed by your crush. However, if your guess is incorrect, all I can say is Happy Halloween. Anyway, these words are relevant to today's lesson. However, who are these people? What are their theories? And what are the essence of their theories? Now let us begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go! It's me, Jename Fatima Casal, and I will provide you a brief background of our first proponent, Elliott-Turiel. So Elliott-Turiel was born on January 30, 1983 in the United States of America, which indicates that he is an American citizen. So Turiel obtained his PhD in psychology from Yale University and is also an eminent psychologist up to this day. Fun fact, he was also a student of Lawrence Kohlberg, which provides him a significant advantage in terms of his works. Moreover, he teaches courses on human development and its relation to education. He held the position of being president of the John Piaget Society, as well as the associate dean for academic affairs and interim dean in the School of Education. If you are wondering if Elliott-Turiel is still alive, do not be worried because he is still alive. In fact, in 2021, the John Piaget Society for the Study of Knowledge and Development presented him with the Distinguished Contributions to Developmental Science Award, and in the year 2022, a special celebration honoring his work was held at the 2022 International Society for the Study of Behavioral Development Conference, and at the same time, he received a recognition award from the Municipality of Rhodes, Greece. So, Elliott-Turiel developed a theory of domains of social development involving the development of moral judgments and their differentiation from understandings of social conventions and customs, as well as arenas of personal jurisdiction throughout development. Now, let us proceed with the next topic.
So, good day everyone. My name is Trisha Kalinti. And I will be discussing the social domain theory of Elliott-Turiel. So, kids associate their behavior through experiences, whether or not they will be punished. So, as a kid, wala na sila pakialam if whatever they do, wala sila kabalog sa mga consequences ana, because kid pa sila. So, whether or not they will be punished, they don't care. So, for example, a kid hit playmates because it did something wrong, so which is his mother usually do to him. So, also, ang mga kids is very, they mimics what the elders do. So, let's say, for example, ang parents sa usa ka kid is kanang gaaway or kanang ang iyang parent is wala na ganahi sa action sa iyahang children. So that's why the parents hits the children. So although intentional lang iyang pag-hit, pero ma-adapt ang kaninga siya nga behavior sa parents sa mga kids because mimix na sila sa mga actions nga ipangbuhat sa ilahang parents or around them, even their peers, mga playmates, kung sa ginabuhatan na nila, they will also do the same. So next is the moral values. So rules people follow because the decisions that an individual make affects others, maintaining human rights. So, for example, Andre chose to be honest and return the wallet in the owner. So, ang ihang kwan ba, ang moral ani is, ang conscience ni Andre is kanang dili niya makaya nga i-keep ang wallet. That is why he chose to be honest and then return the wallet to the owner. So, muni siya kani siya nga behavior is muni siya mga rules nga gi-follow sa people because muni siya murag inatawag nga standards. So we should know what is wrong and what is the right thing to do. So next is the conventional rules, or also known as societal rules. So for example, avoid taking calls or using of gadgets in front of everyone, especially when having meals at the same table. So, muna siya ginatawag nga manners. So, when dealing with other people, especially the elders, if you're having meal with them, so especially at the same table, we have these standards na we should not take calls or use cell phone while facing the elders, especially because that if you were gonna do that, that will be a sign of disrespect. So that is why we children or kanang especially this will apply to everyone, but mostly dapat di siyang ma-adapt sa mga bata because as they grow older, dapat ni nila madala sa ilahang pagkadako. So as a parents, we should mold and we should train our children to become respectful to elders. So dapat na sila'y respect while having a social interaction, especially among elders. So next is culture. Another example of this is that the 10 seconds rule. So what is 10 seconds rule? So ang 10 seconds rule is that if you cannot fix something that is kanang bugging or something that is wrong or something that is not appealing to the eye, you should not mention or you should not say it unless if ma-fix na niya in 10 seconds. Let's say for example, if duha ka person, si Maria and si Jane. So Maria told Jane nga, hey, so si Jane is na siya crack nga or na something wrong sa iyang teeth, which is cracked teeth. So in this time, ang buhaton dapat ni Maria is she shouldn't mention about the cracked teeth of Jane because dili man na niya ma-fix in 10 seconds. However, if ang teeth ni Jane is na ay na-stuck something about like mga foods or mga kuan nga na-stuck, so Jane can fix that into 10 seconds. So pwede na niya iingon ni Jane, pwede iingon ni Maria ni Jane nga, hey, you have something stuck between your teeth. So pwede na niya makuan kay ma-fix man na niya into 10 seconds. However, if dili siya ma-fix in 10 seconds, we shouldn't mention that, especially to our friends or some elders and everyone. We shouldn't do that to everyone because that is another way of saying imo siyang gipakaulawan sa uban. So if maimo man ganun siyang ignon nga, hey, you have something stuck between your teeth, you should do it like kanang privately lang. Kanang kamurang duha ang makadungog sa inyong conversation. So that is what we call the 10 seconds rule. So next is the cultures around the world hold similar basic morals but different conventional. So we all know nga dili raman kita ang puyo diri sa kalibutan. So we have different cultures and mga practices, belief nga gi-practice. And that is why napuna sila mga specific nga mga practices nga gipang buhat. So as a human being na masabot ng tani nga natin differences with each other, we should respect that because mupo na siya ang ilang belief it mupo na ilang another way of like looking up how they view the universe or the world. So that is all. That is all my reporting. So next, and thank you for listening to me. Next would be Miss Kamay.
Good day everyone, I am Kamay Jennifer and today I'll be going to discuss about morality in teaching. It is based on the common characteristics of human moral perception, and morality is concerned with fairness and the prevention of harm to an individual. This is a simple concept that the youngsters can grasp. And also, moral education could bring the students to choose what is right and be able to recognize the most apparent foundation of our life and the world, and frequently boost their universal awareness of being wicked as a human. As we all know that youngsters can easily be picked up how others or those older than them act and respond appropriately. Their parents began teaching on how to be kind to others in an earlier stage, especially in terms of being courteous and respectful to one another. It will lend a hand to generate high and creative plans, righteousness, comprehension, and culture. Children are exposed to multiple cultures in their immediate social environment in an increasingly global society, like in school. That is why moral training is essential to a youngster in order for them to embrace various parts of human attitude and to show respect as what their parents told. As you can see in these two photographs, the mother of the two young children teaches the fundamental teachings on what they need to know, like honesty, compassion, interest in education, and not harming others in order to be a successful good role model. A mother would set guidelines to follow to attain the best result of the next new generation in becoming a good obedient to their family and as well as their friends.
Good day everyone, I am Francine Angela Cuerda and I will be discussing about the critics. Most domain theory research didn't take into account the children's difficulty in evaluating intentionality. Some cultures don't distinguish between manners and morals. Since intentionality is largely associated with mental states like perception, beliefs, or wants, many philosophers have referred to it as the distinguishing feature of the mental. Based on Ms. Kame's discussion, what you have learned in the environment you're in, specifically to your family, which is the first one who taught us different morals and values, and also the person who guides us into the right path. You're also going to adopt the etiquettes they have. Our main conclusion is that the domain approach should be seen more as complementary rather than an alternative to existing accounts of moral development. Most people are able to distinguish between conventional issues involving action whose status as right or wrong is determined by prevailing social norms, standards, or customs, and moral actions having an impact on the welfare and rights for others.
Moral Development Theory by Lawrence Coburg.
Good morning, everyone. I am Gina Hangin, and I'll be giving you the life story of Lawrence Kohlberg. So, Lawrence Kohlberg was born on October 25th, 1927, in Brooksville, New York, USA. He was an American psychologist and an educator known for his theory of moral development. He graduated from Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts in 1945, and after serving in the U.S. Merchant Marine, he worked on a ship that had been hired by Zagana to smuggle Jewish war refugees into Palestine. The ship was intercepted and Kohlberg was imprisoned in British internment camp in Cyprus. Returning to the U.S. in 1948, he enrolled at the University of Chicago, where he completed a BA in psychology in 1 year and a PhD in psychology in 1958. He subsequently held teaching positions at various institutions before settling at Harvard University in 1968. So Coburg became interested in Jean Piaget's work on the moral development of children. According to Piaget, children naturally progress from a form of moral reasoning based on the consequences of an act to one that takes actors' intention into account. Coburg then interviewed 72 lower and middle class white boys, representing each moral dilemma, whether it would be permissible for a poor man to steal medicine for his dying wife. The children's response became the basis of his sixth theory of moral development. His theory was highly influential, especially in psychology and education. No other account had provided such detailed explanation of children's moral development. Moreover, during a time when most psychologists were behaviorists, Coburg's work broke the new ground by connecting on cognitive phenomena. His theory also received much criticism, however, most notably from the American psychologist Carl Gilligan, who argued that it ignored the distinct patterns of moral development exhibited by girls. In 1971, during his research in Belize, Coburg reportedly contracted a parasitic infection that caused him to be physically ill and depressed, though much of the rest of his life. In 1987, he committed suicide.
Morning, everyone. My name is Abigail Dao, and I'll be tackling about the three levels of moral development. Kohlberg identified the three levels of moral development. The first one is pre-conventional level. The second one is conventional level. And the third one is post-conventional level. But people can only pass through these levels in the order listed. Each new stage replaces the reasoning typical of the earlier stage. Take note that not everyone achieves all the stages. So now let's proceed to level 1, pre-conventional level. So this is the first stage of moral development and lasts until approximately age 9. So at the pre-conventional level, morality is externally controlled. Rules imposed by authority figures are conformed to in order to avoid punishment or receive rewards. So this perspective involves the idea that what is right is what one can get away with or what is personally satisfying. So for example, if an individual leads to punishment, it must be bad. And if it leads to a reward, it must be good. Authority is outside the individual, and children often make moral decisions based on the physical consequences of actions. So now let's proceed to level 2, conventional level. So conventional level is the second stage of moral development, and it is characterized by an acceptance of social rules concerning right and wrong. So at the conventional level, we begin to internalize the moral standards of valued adult role models. So authority is internalized but not questioned, and reasoning is based on the norms of the group to which the person belongs. A social system that stresses the responsibilities of relationships as well as a social order is seen as desirable and must. So therefore, influence our view of what is right and wrong. So now let's proceed to level 3, post-conventional level. It is the third stage of moral development, and it is characterized by an individual's understanding of universal ethical principles. These are abstract and ill defined, but might include the preservation of life at all costs and the importance of human dignity. So, individual judgment is based on self chosen principles, and moral reasoning is based on individual rights and justice. So, according to Kohlberg, this level of moral reasoning is as far as most people get. Only 10 to 15% are capable of the kind of abstract thinking necessary for stage 5 or 6. That is to say, most people take their moral views from those around them, and only a minority think through ethical principles for themselves.
Lawrence Kohlberg's stages of moral development. Stage 1. Punishment, obedience, orientation. Behavior is determined by consequences. Individual will obey in order to avoid punishment. Example for this is like kita, as citizen of the Philippines. We obey rules and laws just to avoid punishment. Stage 2. Instrumental purpose orientation. Behavior is also determined again in these consequences. Individual focuses on receiving rewards or satisfying personal needs. Like example is go work ka but wala ka ga-enjoy ana kaayo nga work or sa workplace itself but nagpadayon ra ka gihapon og work because ga-focus ka sa imong sweldo which symbolizes as your reward that will help you satisfy your personal needs. Well, I'm not saying ing ani tanan ha, but some are like this. Stage 3. Good boy or nice girl orientation. Behavior is determined by social approval. The individual wants to maintain or win the affection and approval of others by being a good person. In this stage, nag-focus siya sa approval sa mga tao around you. Like, you do good things just to be called a good person. Example for this is like, diba, there are some people na di jud sila ganahan buhaton ng usa ka butang but they are conscious sa isulti sa ubang tao nila if they will not do that nga butang, di ba? So, they want the society to view them as a good person. Pero wala jud sila, I mean, wala sa ilang personality jud nga mubuhat ana nga butang, but ilara gihapong gibuhat kay mauman nay ginatawag na ginatawag sa society nga good deeds which makes you a good person.
Okay, so stage 4, laws and order orientation. Social rules and laws determine behavior. Moral decision making becomes more than consideration of close ties to others. So, in this stage, an individual takes into larger perspective that of social laws. Kay, di ba na-mention sa stage 3 na wins the approval of others to be by being a good person. During a stage ka bisag kana ganing wala sa imong characteristics but because part siya sa law and since it's a law, we believe na it will help improve our society which is why we follow. Okay, so stage 5, social contract orientation. Individual rights determines behavior. The individual views laws and rules as flexible tools for improving human purposes. So, diri, we believe man di ba na laws are for improvement para sa usa ka lugar or sa mga people. However, na mga laws na makaingon kag unfair. Like, unfair siya para sa uban, which is like, di jud siya makakuagod sa people. Dapat jud, diba, i-take sa og consideration ang atong rights. Lastly, the stage 6, universal ethical principled orientation. According to Kohlberg, this is the highest stage of functioning. At this stage, the appropriate action is determined by one's self-chosen ethical principles of conscience. These principles are abstract and universal in application. So, actually, in this stage, Kohlberg claimed that some people won't reach this stage. Like, before you decide about something, you ask the person with you or the group na pwedeng maapektaran sa imong decision.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, group 3.
Thank you so much for listening.
And I hope you learned something.
God bless. Bye.